Hi guys! Today I want to tell you about my Midori Traveller's Notebook and planners and notebooks and that kind of thing. This is my second proper attempt at this video because I did a first attempt and it was about 29 minutes long, but I got everything that I once said. I thought it went quite well. So I saved it on my computer, and if you use Windows Movie Maker, you know how long it takes to save. Then I started to watch it through because I always kind of proof watch my videos before I upload them, and I found that not only had my webcam been kind of juddering, like really bad movements on the screen, but it had also been chopping off some words because it had problems lip syncing. So instead of you hearing me speaking properly, it had basically chopped out a good 2 seconds of speech every minute or something, which meant that I have to keep going back and adding captions to explain what I just said, and it's so frustrating. And to have to watch a 30-minute video like 3 times to make sure you've caught all the chopped out words, it's just really frustrating. So I'm just making the video again, so hopefully this goes better. So I've actually gone through my old video and made notes so that I know what to say, and it doesn't have to be 29 minutes long now. It can be about 15, I hope. Okay, so this is my Midori Traveller's Notebook, and I love it. I love this thing. It is my perfect planner because although I've used Filofaxes in the past, and I do love them, since I finished university, I haven't needed something as flexible as a Filofax, and the Midori Traveller's Notebook is still flexible. You can still add things, take things out, but it's more of a fixed flexible system, if you know what I mean. Instead of you being able to remove and move and add anything you want, it's more fixed, so I spend less time worrying about the setup. Well, in theory, I spend less time having to think, you know, where should this page be, what should this section have. I can just have my 3 notebooks and that's it. That's in theory. I do still spend a lot of time thinking, what should I have in here? Is this the right setup? What I want to do for 2014 is finalise my planner setup by December the 31st, so that in 2014 I can not have to worry about planning, not have to be, you know, worrying about it on a daily basis, because when I'm in kind of the planner wobble stage, the stage before planner fail, I do spend a lot of time worrying about how my planner should be set up, what type of planner I should use, that kind of thing. So I just want to stop being kind of worried about that. I just want to be happy with my system and to use it for a whole year. That would be amazing. So that's what I want to do for January. So December I am trying to finalise my system. So if you watched my last but one video, or one of my videos from it was in October, but it was of my September Filofax, you will have seen this. It's my A5 Sienna, and she's absolutely gorgeous. I used her as my planner, and in my latest blog post I did say that I would go back to using her as my planner, but I've decided that I don't need an A5 Filofax as my planner. I don't have a family to look after, I don't have a house to look after, I'm just living my little life, and I really don't need an A5 Filofax to run my little life. So although it did, not that it worked brilliantly for me, but it was a good vessel. It was definitely a good vessel. I wasn't using it to its full potential, and while I had sections in it that are really good sections to have and that I definitely need to keep somewhere, organisation section, goals section, and projects, and also things like routines and hobbies and that kind of thing, I don't need an actual A5 Filofax. So I'm going to incorporate them into my Midori, and the reason that I want them in my Midori is because I probably do need everything in one place. That is kind of the holy grail of planners, is to have everything in one place. As my friend Rory says, one book to rule them all. Is just to be able to pick up this thing as you're running out of the house and go, I've got everything I need for today, for the future, recordings of the past, just all in here. So I will tell you a bit about that in a minute. So I'm not going to be using my Filofax as my planner anymore, but I'm still using my A5 Filofaxes for lots of things. So on my shelf up here, I have my A5 Ochre Malden, which is my Egyptology research planner. Not planner, it's where I put my notes, where I write my notes. The Filofax ring system is really good for working out sections and chapters and that kind of thing. The same in my A5 Fuchsia Original. It's my novel writing Filofax, and it's really good for, even though I'm not putting all my notes in there because I've got this little notebook, that is for ideas on the go. Having a Filofax with the rings is brilliant for moving things around, creating sections, and especially ordering chapters. I've got my A5 Yellow Original, which is my hieroglyphs one. My A5 De Villiers, which isn't a Filofax, it's the De Villiers brand, which I've googled and I cannot find anything on the internet about it. I bought it off eBay. It's gorgeous. And that will be for other Egyptology notes, an inventory of my books and that kind of thing. I've got the A5 Wine Holborn, which I want for Tudor history. Also in my De Villiers, I'm going to have archaeology and museum studies notes. And then I've kind of got a couple, I've got my A5 Purple Malden, which is for my hobbies, and then I've kind of got a couple of A5s, which if I was still using my planner, I'd have my Sienna, my A5 Raspberry Chameleon, and my A5 Aqua Malden as the planners, or the Filofaxes which I can switch my planner into whenever I feel like it. But those are kind of sitting empty at the moment, so I've got to find something for those to do. So I am still using my Filofaxes, and once I get around to it, I will do either a video or a blog post or both about them. So I am still using them. I've also got my Compact Chameleon, which I will be using as an inventory for my craft stuff, so I can, put samples of my embossing powder, my ink pads, my stamps and that kind of thing, so when I go to a craft shop I don't buy duplicates, which I have done in the past. So those are my Filofaxes, and now I'm going to briefly show you the setup of my Midori, so that you know what it has looked like for the past couple of months, or the past month I'd say, and then I'll tell you about what I've done and what I will be doing. So I have, it's pretty much the same as I used to have. I've got the credit card pocket, the other side of the Ziploc pocket, my diary section, which is a week on 2 pages, which I make myself. That's got a to-do list there, so it's like that, which I absolutely love. And I've got a filing thing, a file pocket thing that I made, and it goes through to the other side of this notebook, so it's there as well. It's got like the pocket there, and this notebook in between is like an inbox, ideas and notes notebook. And then I don't have a third notebook in here. Ever since I set up my Midori to start with, I haven't been able to work out what my third notebook should be. So I came up with a thing where I'd basically have my Raidori set up as my fun Midori style notebook, and I'll show you that in a second. But I wouldn't put a third notebook in my Midori until I could think of what one to do. So I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But what I have got in here is the Moleskine address book inserts that I'm going to be using for references. So it's got all the letters down the side. So like the A to Z dividers that people use in their Filofax for like a filing cabinet for notes, I'm going to be doing that for referencing. So for example, I'm going to put my mum and dad's working times on a piece of paper and washi tape it in under W and that kind of thing. Basically the purpose of this being on this piece of elastic is because if you are doing the three notebook trick in the Midori, you use the elastics that are already in the Midori plus a spare elastic. And I will do a video on this, but if you have nothing on the other side of the spare elastic, the first notebook will fall out. If you know the elastic trick, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'll do a video on it at some point. But this is basically a elastic holder, a saver, or whatever you call it. It holds the elastic and it makes it not fall out. So my plan was to take one of the booklets, one of the Midori inserts from in here, and put it in as my third notebook whenever I wanted to. So this is basically my fun Midori style notebook. It's my Ray Dory made by Ray Blake, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And basically it's got 4 notebooks in it. The first one is for doodles, Zentangles and sketches. The second one is for short stories and poems. The third one is like a scrapbook or a sketchbook or an art journal, and the fourth one is like just a random lists notebook. Basically what I was going to do was to say, today I fancy writing a short story, or today I'd like to practice sketching. So I'd take one of the notebooks from in here out and put it inside my Midori as my third notebook. That was my plan. Well, I haven't been doing that because when I go out, it's either to go shopping or to go to work. And I've found that even when I sit down, when I have a break, I don't get my Midori out and write a short story or do some sketching. I might get my Midori out to check what I've got to do that day, or to write some notes or something, but not to do anything like that. So I don't actually need those notebooks with me. So I have had to try to work out what my third notebook can be. So I've got this new setup for my Midori. So for 2014, this is how I'm going to have it. I have made a 2014 diary. It's 12 months of week on 2 pages and month on 2 pages. And if you know Midori Traveller's Notebook inserts, you will know that's quite a big deal, because they have a 12 months, well actually I think it's like 14 months of month on 2 pages insert. They have a 6 months free diary, or a 6 months start of 2014, first half of 2014, second half of 2014 insert. But they do not have a one insert for the monthly 2014 and the 52 weeks of week on 2 pages 2014. I've made one. I really wanted all of my 2014 weekly and monthly pages in one book, so I've made one. And if you look at the difference in widths, in thicknesses, between a normal Midori notebook, which is this one, I'm trying to line it up, that one there, and my one, you will notice the difference in width. It has a lot more pages in it. It has 128 pages, which is the same as the thin paper notebook, but because it's normal paper, it's grid squared paper, it is considerably thicker, but I don't mind that. I've made that, so that's going to be my diary for 2014. And then I've decided to have a planner insert. So instead of having my planner Filofax, I'm going to have a planner insert. It's just going to be basically my organisation lists. It's going to have projects, goals, lists, all kinds of things like that, and I'll have to do a video on that when I actually set it up. But that's going to be my second insert. And then what's going to be my third insert? Well, I had this kind of perception before I decided to use my Midori as my planner again, that whenever I had a planner in my Midori diary, planner, notebook, all three of them were basically shouting at me, do this, you've got stuff to do, go and do it, get on with it, do. And I was like, stop shouting at me with all my to-dos and my projects and things I've got to get done. Well, I realised it's not shouting at me, it's just my interpretation of it. I've got to get on with my to-dos and get them done, and then I can do fun stuff. Basically, it's a psychological thing where I'm a procrastinator, I'm a lazy person, and if I don't have to do something, I won't do it. So I find that I don't do the stuff unless I force myself to do it. It's not that my Midori is shouting at me, it's that I'm too lazy, and it will be my brain shouting at me at 1 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep because I haven't done my stuff. I have got to change the way that I plan and that I check my Midori, and I actually write my stuff down that I have to do, and that I check my Midori to see the stuff that I need to do and do it. Then my Midori will just be a helpful guide through life and not something that's shouting at me. So I've got to change the way that I'm using my planner, and that's something for me to do in 2014. But it's not shouting at me, but still, I don't want all of these inserts that are going to be just full of serious to-dos. I want something fun, something nice, something happy and lovely in there. So I've been thinking about this for a while, but I've wanted to do something that is like a happy journal, basically. That's what I'm calling it. Somewhere I can print out nice pictures that I like, get photos of things that I love, my friends, my family, my animals, song lyrics that I love, poems that I love, do sketches and doodles and scrapbook spreads of things that I love, and basically just have happy things in a notebook. Just take a Midori notebook and put happy things in it. So if I'm feeling a bit down or stressed, or even if I just want to flick through my Midori, I can just go through it and look at it, and it will just be full of happy things. And so that is my third notebook. Then the final thing that I want to tell you about today is, because if you remember what is in my Midori at the moment, it's a diary and a notebook. And I've got diary, planner and happy journal. There is no notebook in my Midori anymore. There's still going to be a bit of a notebook, but it's basically just going to be some trimmed down, folded over paper, loose but folded into the middle of a notebook under the elastic, just for quick notes and an inbox that I can process later into one of my Filofaxes or into my planner section or something like that. But my main notebook, not something to replace my Filofaxes, not something for a specific hobby, just a general write anything down that you want notebook, is at the moment this one, because what happened was I've been doing some online Christmas shopping and I've found so many lovely notebooks that I really want to use, but if I've got all my Filofaxes and my Midori, I'm like, I don't need those pretty notebooks, but I really want those pretty notebooks. So I've decided to fit it in so that I am allowed to buy them, but I actually use them, because down here on my shelf I have a load of notebooks that I haven't used, and I've actually given some away because I haven't used them. I really need to just use notebooks, so I am going to use an actual notebook. I got this one from TK Maxx for £2.99. It is an Oxford. I can't remember the name, but I think it's called a signature one. And it's really good. It's hardbacked. It's A5. It's got gorgeous quality paper. Really gorgeous. No bleed through whatsoever. The only trouble is it's plain, and I can't really write on plain paper. But for £2.99 to test out this system, it's really brilliant. Because for Christmas I'm getting a Moleskine cassette tape, red, large, lined, ruled notebook. So I definitely want to use that one after Christmas. But if this system doesn't work, I don't want to ruin that notebook by starting something in it that I'm not going to use again. So I'm using this notebook for the next few weeks. I think until January the 1st I'll use it, and if it still works for me, then I'll start my Midori as my notebook. But basically it's just a place to write any old notes. There are things that I'm going to process. I'm going to take them, if I'm sitting downstairs and I don't have, say, my hobbies Filofax or my novel writing Filofax, I can just write the notes in here. Then I've got a piece of paper stuck on the front there with washi tape where I can, it's for pages to process, so I will write on it, I've numbered the pages and I'll write on it, oh, page 6, and then I'll look at page 6 and go, oh, that needs to go in this Filofax, so then I can copy over the notes into that Filofax and cross off the thing on the pages to process sheet, and I've got it in the right place. But this is just a brain dump notebook, and a wondering notebook, and an ideas notebook, and if I find something useful on a website or a YouTube video notebook, I can just write down whatever I want. So there you go. That is my kind of planner notebook Midori update for December, and what I'm hoping to do for January. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope it's been good enough quality, and if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If not, it's another holiday, happy holidays. And if not, then just have a nice December and a happy New Year. So thank you for watching. Bye.